It's time for... Oh my God. Oh. Whew, whew, whew. Okay, hey there folks. Once again, from a secret, undisclosed location hidden somewhere deep in the bowels of downtown St. John's, Newfoundland, comes in the Library of Graphic Literature with your host, me, Wallace Ryan. So how's everyone doing? Fine, I hope. We're here for, but it's not a big time. Oh, hey, 1 second please, I gotta adjust my lighting here. 'Cause even though it's a daytime shooting, I'm still want to light up this purty face, man. No, yeah, there, a little bit. It is actually daytime here, which is unusual. I'm usually shooting this during the nighttime, and but we got our comics. We got last week's comics on time, and this week's comics ahead of time yesterday. So it was a zoo at the comic book shop. Downtown Comics in downtown St. John's. The most easterly comic book store in North America. Which now I help run with the new owner, Carrie Clare. Hey Clary, Carrie. Hey. So yeah, if you're ever in St. John's, or if you live in the metropolitan St. John's area, drop by the best comic book store in all of Newfoundland. Okay, so let's get right down to it this week, shall we? Well, first of all, let me have a sip of some of my tea here, which I bought at the Rocket Bakery on Water Street here in St. John's. Free plug for those guys. They're fabulous people, and they carry this heavily creamed tea that is heavenly. So, now, let's get down to the books. Okay, first off is a book I've been waiting for quite a while. I knew sooner or later to get around to omnibusing this cool, one of my favorite characters from the late 70s into the 80s, and one of my favorite artists, of course. And I am, of course, talking about Moon Knight. No. A kooky mixture of the Shadow and Batman, but with its own special flavor. I always liked Moon Knight. There was just something cool about the character. I followed him from his first appearances in Werewolf by Night. Then I had his solo appearances from Marvel Spotlight, and liked him in The Defenders. And then, of course, he had his classic run in the Rampaging Hulk, the black and white magazine. Although by that time, I'm pretty sure it was in full color, and that's when Bill Sienkiewicz came on board and started doing a kick-ass job, and it just took off from there. Of course, he was rewarded with his own title, and it just got better and better and better and better. It's truly where Sienkiewicz really started to evolve into the style that we all know and love today. So it's great. It's a great read that way. You get to see his evolution. You only get to see that every so often with comic book artists, and it's perfect. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the Sienkiewicz. Oh yeah, so Giffen. So that's Giffen with the those. Oh, there's some Gene Colton here too. I forgot about that. Keith Pollard, Dennis Cowan, Jimmy James. But yeah, all in all, some really great great comics. You got to pick them up. So let me get closer to you folks, just to give you a nice Nice look here. Now this starts off with Don Perlin, and then we get into, and this actually I love the. This is Giffen is inked by Klaus Janson, and it's an absolutely stunning piece of work. So some good defenders mixed in here with it. And then we have him appearing with the Spectacular Spider-Man, the Marvel 2-in-1, and then he makes his big leap. And it was actually, yeah, that's where Gene Colan did, into the Rampage and Hulk. So, yeah, so a couple of those, and then, okay, and this is where we start to see Sienkiewicz. And he evolves, like I say, from, he was kind of very much influenced by Neil Adams, obviously, but he quickly evolves into his own style that, like I say, we know and love him for today. But yeah, so if you're a fan of Moon Knight, you got to pick this up, and if you're not, you got to check it out. It's so worth it, well worth reading. Oh, and here's I think this is a Frank Miller, no, Herb Trimp, and then into Moon Knight. And like I say, he really starts to, especially towards the end of this volume, he really starts to take on like this. There you go, yeah, super cool. By the end of it, it's full on. It's pretty much full on Sienkiewicz. This is volume 1, so you know there's going to be a volume 2, and that one is going to be really excuse me, all out Sienkiewicz. So check it out, Moon Knight. Kisses a dozen times. Okay, now what shall we do next here? Actually, we'll do the Marvels first, and then I'll get on to my last one here. Okay, so next, excuse me for a second. Delicious. And you notice too, I'm rather scruffy here today. It's you can tell that I've been wearing a mask because don't seem to really care around the scruffy face. Anyway, scruffy face aside, this is actually a rather unique volume 2 of Captain America, Marvel Masterworks. This is volume 12. You have some Steve Gerber in this one, I do believe, yeah. Don Glut, Steve Gerber, or 221 to 223 and 225. And then Roger McKenzie, Roy Thomas, etc., etc. And you also, in this, you have Sal Buscema, Tosca, Dave Cockrum, super cool, John Buscema, and Steve Leola, among others. So, well, it's sort of an interesting collection of people here. But the reason that this in particular holds some holds something for me is, let me see, there's a versus the Human Torch. Yeah, okay, and here of course is the reason that I was looking forward to this volume. Here in this volume we have number 218, which is the infamous or the famous One Day in Newfoundland. Dun, 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 dun. So Captain America got to visit St. John's, Newfoundland, although from the look of it, it doesn't look a lot. It looks more like no, it looks more sometimes like something out of. Although he does have it out of New England, but yeah. So we actually do get to see him in that there. So yeah, so good range of different stuff. Another Sal Buscema. Oh, let's see, who do we got here now? Oh, Mike Zeck, of course, the Zexter. But yeah, anyway, a nice volume all around. This would have been getting close to where I started. Well, because I did after Kirby left, I'd sort of trail off, but I did pick up some later on. But yeah, pick this one up, if only to see Captain America in Newfoundland. Dun, 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 dun. So yeah, love this one. One Night in Newfoundland. For the shield slinger. Well, that gets a little kiss. Not a tongue lashing like that Moon Knight there would. Now, folks, comes a sip of tea. Delish. Oh, and don't forget, Thursday Comics is it's actually already up, come to think of it. And we're doing a giant size edition, and we talk about our top 10 favorite Dark Horse books and or collections. So check it out. It's already up there on Spotify and iTunes and just about every other outlet you can find for podcasts. With myself and my good pal in comics, Dennis Osborne. Check it out. And then next week we look at upcoming Marvel Omnibuses. So yeah, check it out. 2 good weeks of Thursday Comics coming your way. Now, let's continue on here with this Marvel Mania. So yeah, geez, 3 Marvel books all in one. Not a bad week. And of course, what would it be without a Savage Sword of Conan? Love the Savage Sword. And we're getting up to number 60. So I'm beginning to wonder if in fact they will do a complete run, which I hope so, because it would be so cool. And this one, of course, the pencilers, for the most part, is John Buscema. There's a story here by with Ernie Colan, Gil Kane, Gene Colan, and Mike Vosberg, among others. Then, of course, the inkers, Tony DeZuniga does most of it. And you have some other people like Akela. It's only in for one, unfortunately. I love Alfredo Akela. Klaus Janson is there, and Rudy Nebrez. So yeah, a few good ones, and then some cool spot illustrations from Gene Day, Neil Adams, yada 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 yada. Anyway, yeah. So another great collection of the Savage Sword of Conan with the savage adventures of Conan the Barbarian himself. Da-da-da-da. So let's have a glance. And there, this is Designiga, inking good old John. So yeah, there's some great art. Oh, this looks like this is Gil Kane. I can recognize Gil Kane a mile away. Yeah. John Buscema and Joe Rubenstein and company. So yeah, a bunch of them. No one has graphic flow like Kane does. I mean, there are some people. But yeah, if you love Conan, you'll love the Savage Sword. I always like the Savage Sword because those are the Conan the Barbarian's comic, but I like the Savage Sword was like Conan for adults. A little bit of nudity thrown in. It was a little bit more violent, so to speak. But the art too. The art was absolutely fabulous. There's some Ernie Chan there. Pardon me, I got the sniffles here today. Some more Deseniga. Deseniga, of course, is famous for his work on Jonah Hex. And a lot of other stuff, too. There's a bit of Ernie Chan there. Ooh, look, Rudy Nebrez. Looks like. Oh, no. Dan Belandi. Okay. So, yeah. Definitely so well worth. And then, of course, there's a little section about Neil Adams, if he had done storyboards for the Conan movie. So yeah, check it out. Another volume of that wonderful Savage Sword of Conan. You gotta love that. Okay. Now, we should lay that to the side, and we're going to start now with our last, but by all means not the least. Bring. Oh, hang on a sec. Hello? Yeah, Curtis, I'm just about to do it. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. See ya. Bye. It's my friend Curtis Finley calling in and saying, well, sir, you're going to talk about the latest volume of For Better or For Worse. Let's open it up and see. Now, this of course comes from the fine folks at the Library of American Comics. Actually, yeah, and this volume here completes my collection once again. Every time I get one of these, it completes my complete collection of the Library of American Comics. For you people, especially you people who are have to have some tea, love the tea, who are fans of comic strips and all that, it's the premier publisher of comic strips out there today. I think them, along with Fantagraphics, Fantagraphics and Drawn and Quarterly, because Drawn and Quarterly have been doing the Gasoline Alley ones, but mainly the Library of American Comics and Fantagraphics are. If you're into comic strips, those two publishers are doing the best work out there. And actually, there was a Curtis published a really cool little video there this week of him prepping the artwork and touching up the colors and all that. So it was pretty cool to look at. And the other thing too is Curtis lives on the other side of the country from me. So literally, quite literally, I live on one coast, he lives on the other. But yeah, they do fabulous work. And this, of course, is this. I think this is about halfway through. I think it was supposed to be 10 volumes, I guess. Oh yes, as we reach the midway point of the strip, as it says here. So yeah, and this one includes the saga of Farley, the family dog. So yeah, it's funny because when it was coming out originally, when I first seen the first couple of years with it, I sort of, basically grazed the strip, had a look at it here and there. But I did read some later on, and I kind of came to like it because it's a real slice of life. It's a real, I mean, in some ways, minus lack of swearing and stuff like that. It's it's sort of a neat look at life in the 80s and 90s through the eyes of Lynn Johnston. So make sure you pick this up. It's I'm pretty sure most of the volumes are still in print, but you should pick it up. It's well worth it. And like I say, once again, the folks at Library of American Comics do a great job in terms of presentation and all that. As a matter of fact, I do believe Curtis even does the Yes, introduction. So, yeah, definitely pick it up, for better or for worse. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Let me have a cup of tea before sip of tea before I come over there and show it off to you. Okay, here we go. Like I say, just great production values. The strips are all very clean, clear. The color, he's done a great job on the color there. So yeah, make sure you pick it up. There's something about her style that around here it's getting into. I think she's really started to. She found her style here by this point. But yeah, very, very cool. So yeah, get out there and support the Library of American Comics and Lynn Johnston and my pal Curtis. Definitely well worth picking up. What I like too is that they do include notes every so often, having to do with certain strips, stuff like that, which I enjoy, being the big fan of history that I am. I like to see a little bit of extras like that thrown in just to make sure you got them all. So yes, check it out. For Better or for Worse, Volume 5, halfway there. So yeah, congratulations, folks, for getting that. We're getting halfway. I know that we can trust you to go all the way with that series. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure, because who out there doesn't like For Better or for Worse? Don't answer that question. Woo! Okay. So, geez, I guess that does it for this week. There's only I only had 4 books. I picked up a reorder of the Marvel Horror Lives Again, which, boy, I might as well show you that there too. Which finally did arrive. Unfortunately, I don't have the original cover that I'm looking for, but this, of course, has a lot of great artists in it, from Gene Colan to P. Craig Russell, Herb Trimp, John Byrne, Esteban Morato, all kinds of people. A lot of writing from Steve Gerber, Bill Sienkiewicz in here. God, who is in here? But yeah, this one looks pretty cool too. So yeah, pick up that one. Now, where about that over onto my reading stack there? Anyway, that's it for this week. Hope everyone out there is having a good time, and I don't know what else to say really to end off this episode. Just keep on reading them comics and supporting the art form we all love to death. So that being said, I guess I'll just boom tube my way out of it here. Of course, like I say, check out my In the Library of Graphic Literature Facebook page. It's separate from the Library of Graphic Literature page. It just has all the episodes on it in order. And pretty soon I'm going to try a live edition. But I'll let you folks know well in advance, so if you want, you can be there and throw some questions my way. And I'll try my best to answer them, and if I can't answer them, I'll let you know. And of course, check out Thursday Comics. Oops, excuse me. Mainly because it's Thursday. And thanks for having us over. Oh no, oh my God, it's taking me away. Okay, bye.